Good morning. It's my pleasure to introduce you Professor Mario today. He is one of the world's most known Leonardo da Vinci experts. He's here for the conference tomorrow on of the second Congress of History of Science at the History Department. And he was very kind. He agreed to have this informal talk with you. So you don't have to wait until he finishes. You can just ask questions at any time, okay? Please, Professor.
My first question is to you. What do you know about Leonardo da Vinci? I will not tell you when he was born, what he did, something classical things you see from books, but it's true. Can you tell me something about Leonardo? What paint he did? What invention he invented? Why he's famous? What you remember? La Gioconda, okay. And? Only La Gioconda? Mona Lisa? What do you know about Leonardo? Tell me something.
Anatomic studies.
Okay, good. He did a lot of anatomic studies. It's about it's almost the 500 years that he's dead. That's why all around the world, the people will promote Leonardo da Vinci and do conference and exhibition, and there will be a lot. Have you ever seen the movie Da Vinci Code or not? No? Who did it? Who see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least half of them. There is also the book. Leonardo da Vinci get very famous because of this book. That came from USA, but of course about the movie. One very important thing that I want to show you is that you recognize this picture. Have you seen it or not? No, never? He never did it. So this is known as Leonardo da Vinci picture. The most important thing, of course, you did. Have you ever seen this picture? Okay. Did someone never show this picture? Good. So this is one of the many most famous things about Leonardo, right? You have seen for sure. In Europe, we have €1 with this picture on the €1 coin. A lot of people name it the man with 4 legs and 4 hands, right? Because he's a 4 hands. But the most important thing is that it is inside a circle and a square. This is one of the most famous pictures about Leonardo da Vinci, about the Renaissance, and about studies of the body and other stuff. But I will come back later. So, right, second, the Mona Lisa, I was ready, okay? And what else? Leonardo da Vinci, Da Vinci Code, Mona Lisa, the man with 4 legs, and then? Good. So he studied. Water devices, yes. War, yes. So, Leonardo da Vinci, believe me, it is one of the best known and the most famous men in the world because he is known as the most genius man on earth. And because he's very famous, why? Because a lot of people, when you go to, have you ever been in Paris? Okay, when you go to Paris and Louvre, the first thing that everybody do is going to see this picture, right? Because it is one of the most famous picture of everything. But please, have you remember something else about Leonardo? Some museum we have seen, some books. There is another big one. This one. Why you don't say that? This is the famous Last Supper of Leonardo. You remember something about that? Okay, the Last Supper is one of the most famous picture about Leonardo, about the painting, one of the most famous painting because it is a religious purpose. The Mona Lisa is famous because it is strange, there is a mystery there or not, we don't know. And the Last Supper is known because it is a religious stuff, okay? But if you came, the main problem is that people does not recognize it, does not see there is no more than 10 picture that people remember about Leonardo. I will show you for the first time all the 20 paintings he did it for the first time. From the first one here, inside we have in the middle, and then here when Leonardo died. This is a chronological right sides virtual exposition of everything we have today about Leonardo. Maybe some pictures are lost, we don't know. But for sure, one of the most famous is the Last Supper, right? Believe me that Leonardo da Vinci, can you see some picture of this? Have you ever seen something like this about Leonardo? Okay, some yes. The truth is that Leonardo da Vinci, in books and exposition, is known as the man who invented everything. For sure, he invented the parachute, the tank, the bicycle too, the multi-cannon, and so on. So that's why it is very famous. Something happened in Italy in the when they were doing the war. You know about something like Mussolini and Hitler, that people, and in Italy there was a big exhibition because Mussolini wanted to have this big exposition to show that Leonardo da Vinci, it was an Italian man, that's why he is important, he invented everything. But it was not true. He did it only on purpose to say we are the best. And I guess that all the people, maybe, Leonardo da Vinci is Italian or not? You know about this? Yes or not? He thinks so? The answer is very nice, because now I will tell you something. That the answer is not. Because at the time of Leonardo, 500 years ago, Italy does not exist. So from my point of view, Leonardo is a human being that did something extraordinary for sure. The problem is that all the people after Leonardo and all the people from movie theater on just want to get Leonardo as a marketing tool to promote things, to say, okay, what a wonderful thing it is. But the truth, and you here in university know that the study is something very, very important. The truth that I will show you tomorrow also is that all this stuff that people believe is from Leonardo is not. I will tell you the story from the beginning. This man. If you search for this picture on Wikipedia, you will find that Leonardo da Vinci did it, yes. It is one of the most famous and well-known about Leonardo da Vinci, but the name of the picture, maybe someone knows that. Yes. The name of this picture is Vitruvian Man. Vitruvian Man means that this man is from Vitruvio. Vitruvio was an architect before Leonardo. So Leonardo copied it from Vitruvio. I know that this is very strange, but it's true. The beautiful of my work is that I would get passionate about Leonardo when I was very young. Very young, I went to school to see an exposition. I see a lot of stuff of Leonardo, and I said to me, I want to be like Leonardo. I want to paint like Leonardo. I want to invent a machine like Leonardo. So I get very passionate about this. But the more I studied, the more I know the truth. And you know the truth. The truth is that my question to you, how it is possible that a single man, can invent everything? You know that is not true. And this message is a wrong message for our children. Think about that. If you grab your children and put it in front of the Mona Lisa and say, okay, this is a masterpiece, you will never be able to do that. Or Leonardo da Vinci invented all the machine, so you cannot do that, right? But the truth is completely different. The truth is that this picture is from Vitruvio, and the very beautiful thing is that Leonardo itself, in the top of the picture, wrote, Architetto Vitruvio did this project, and blah, 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 blah. So Leonardo was honest with his drawings. In all the picture of Leonardo, and we will see a lot of them now, Leonardo put the truth on that. He said that he studied Vitruvio, and he tried to make a picture of the project of Vitruvio. Believe me, a lot of engineering before Leonardo, medieval engineering and Renaissance engineering, and people that are able to draw a Vitruvian man. The problem is that Leonardo was so good to draw that he drew a so beautiful picture of the Vitruvian man that he stole the copyright from Vitruvio. This is something very sad, but something very most powerful to tell to the people, because this means that if you are good, no matter if you invent something or not, but if you study something and you are able to present it better than your than the owner of your invention, you will become the copyright man who stole the project. That's what's happening with Leonardo. I'm sorry, but this is true. And so happened for all this stuff. My study 10 years ago, I did something that's revolutionary. I get very nervous about this, because every time I found machine of Leonardo in all museums, all books, I did find also where Leonardo copied that machine from. You know that is true, because you study here in university. You know that people cannot invent from nothing. They just wake up and invent a starship. It's impossible. So to be a genius, to be a professor, to be someone who invents things, the first rule is, you tell me, to learn. To learn, to study, and to copy. From my point of view, these three things are the same. Because think about your children when you go to school. You are learning, but you are not learning. You are copying from the blackboard what the teacher is reading on the blackboard. You are not inventing anything. You are just copying things. The more you copy, the more you study, the more you know, the better man you will become. And the better man you can do something new. I will show you later. So, believe me, it's very sad, but I find that all the machines I find in all museums of the world are not copyright of Leonardo, but is Leonardo that is copying and making it better than the original. Can you see the picture? For example, here is the famous tank of Leonardo. Leonardo did these wonderful drawings here, but he copied the idea from Valturio here. The problem is that the books that Leonardo copied from are ancient books of medieval books. They are a little bit boring, and the drawings are not perfect, are not something like an artist that made this book. So Leonardo was also an artist, and then put, when he was copying, also something more. He made the picture much more better. My work, Gildo said to me to tell you what is my work. My work is that after these shocking things, that Leonardo did not invent all the machine that you find in books. The truth is that I found that people does not know there are 6,000 pages of Leonardo. Leonardo did a lot of manuscripts all his life, because he did something extraordinary. He never stopped learning. When people and children finish the school or the university, they will stop learning and they will start working, right? Leonardo never stopped learning. So in these 6,000 pages we have today, there are hundreds and hundreds of studies of Leonardo. So the beautiful of my job is that I did find that, let's say 20 or 30 famous pages of Leonardo that I showed you before, is Leonardo that is copying other stuff, that making better and stealing the copyright. Okay, let's put it that way. But the truth is that Leonardo get so passionate about his work and his studies, and he started to understand that the more you know, the more you can put two things together, the new things came out of your mind. And his real invention are here in these 6,000 pages. My work was to remember every one of these pages and make a connection in time and space from all these sketches. Because Leonardo, when he studied something he wanted to do, for example, one of the many flying machines, he did not put one project in one page, but he put this project in many different pages, one by one, as you can do. If you have to do a book or a project, you cannot use only one page. You have hundreds of pages to write on. So that's why my job is to find all the connection on all the manuscript of Leonardo, and we can do that because I can recognize the handwriting style. So I know that Leonardo, when he was 20, wrote in different way than he was older. You can understand this. And also because in the picture there is sometimes the date, the number of the day. And also, because, of course, the subject can help me to understand. But the very, very beautiful of my job is that I did find that there are more secrets in this horrible page of Leonardo than in the Mona Lisa. Let's make a joke or a test together. Look at this picture. You can see the picture. Okay. This picture is not famous. You will never find this picture in the books because people and editors find that this picture is horrible. It's not like the Mona Lisa or the tank or something beautiful. So they forget to show this picture to you or the people or to publish the books. Remember that I have collected 6,000 of these pages. But look closer. I show you something very, very nice. Can you see my mouse here? What recognize you in these little tiny drawings? It's only 3 millimeters. Can you see there is next to the duck here? Can you see there is a join of the leg? This part of the leg. Can you see it? Can you see this? Okay? Okay, thank you. Remember something that maybe you remember, that Leonardo wrote from left to right. Not left to right, sorry. From right to left, like other people do, okay? So if we have to look at the sequence of the idea, we have to read it from right to left. So let's go next here. Can you see this join? What you look at here? This is the same join, the human join, the human knee, transformed in a mechanical join. And look at the beautiful third one here. The join is connected with a rope. So in this little tiny picture, there is the idea of Leonardo to build a robot, an android. This is the true of Leonardo. And Leonardo did not draw the full robot with the pictures, beautiful picture. No, because these drawings are for himself. So the beautiful picture are for the Duke of Milan. The story is very long. If we have time, we can talk about that. But the real Leonardo put his idea, his own idea in this picture that is not for presenting to other people. We don't know if he wants to keep secret or not, but this is the truth. And I show you, for example, my work was to divide this page with using Photoshop to understand what different part of the picture is made of. And I found that in this single page of Leonardo, believe me, there are more than 20 or 30 projects or starting of ideas of making androids and different clocks. The beauty of the mind of Leonardo is that after 30 years of studying other stuff, he became able to start thinking with his own mind. So he started a journey of invention. Remember, this one page. Multiply this one page for 6,000. My job is very nice because I have to find ideas in these pictures, and I do the three-dimensional models for sure, but I did also the computer software. I show you. For example, this is the basic for the Android, and my work is go to workshop and build these androids for Leonardo da Vinci. I use original material and good stuff, not fake stuff, just exactly what Leonardo had the possibility to use. I did it today after 500 years because I like it, because I think it's good for the science, because we have to find that if the invention of Leonardo are working or not. Believe me, half of these inventions are not working, and half of them are really good invention. For example, remember the robot there. My work is that also to be able to do softwares, I show you maybe later, for children we have in our museum in Milan. So I put an educational tool to be able, for the children and adults too, to build step by step all the three-dimensional model, so the children will learn how the name of the different pieces. Because you understand that if you, let's think about something very complex, like an airplane, okay? The engineering in the airplane is very complex, right? But if you dismantle it and you go in the teeny pieces, believe me, things are very simple. In science, we know that there are 7 simple machines, pulley, gears, very simple. If you mix them together, you have complexity. But every machine, no matter how complex it is, if you dismantle it, you will be able to see it very easily. This is some of my machine. Some of machine I did it in Milan with Edoardo Zanone and Massimiliano Lisa with this company Leonardo 3, and we have a museum in Piazza Scala. If you came to Milan, just have a visit on it. And we have also, we earn our money with the traveling exposition that show these works around the world. Tell me something about what you like. What kind of machine you like? Tell me something. Ships. Okay, this is the model of one of the incredible machines of Leonardo. Is a submarine. I'll show you. Okay, so please from now on you are free to stop me and ask me what you like. Okay, so he asked about ships, right? Okay, I'll show you. I studied that Leonardo da Vinci maybe did something like a lot of ships, and he made also the incredible war machine. The most incredible and most powerful war machine to be able to fight all the enemies on the sea is the submarine, right? Because no one can see it. So Leonardo did it. Let me see if it goes. Oh, it does not go full screen. Let me do this. Yes. I hope so. Okay, let's go. Can you see it? Okay. So this is an example of a software. I did hundreds of this software, one for each machines. So people in our museum are able to understand all the studies on the submarine. So I started from this picture. This is a very nice story. Look at this blue picture. The original picture of Leonardo is blue. It is one of the many pages of the Codex Atlanticus. You know that there are many codex of Leonardo. Maybe you don't know, but there are many codex of Leonardo. It's not the Codex Atlanticus. There is manuscript A, B, C, D, different manuscripts. So I found this very incredible and strange picture and helped me to understand what's inside. The beautiful is this, that it's very hard to find some clues in this picture. So I had to do a digital restoration to bring them to life. One question for you. Why that page is blue? You don't know that. A lot of pages of Leonardo, where he draw pictures and objects, are not white. What kind of students are you? What do you teach? What do you teach in your school? Or what do you learn? What are your basis? You are what? Electronics. Then what? Chemistry? There are a lot of chemistry in Leonardo. People does not know. And please, you? Physics, good. You can imagine how many exercise of physics is inside of Leonardo. All the things that today we have in books of physics, you can find the starting point in Leonardo da Vinci. There is no teacher of drawings and arts here. No. I'll give you one of the most incredible and beautiful lessons of a school or art teacher. You have children or friends, little friends or whatever. If you have to say to me or your children, you have a glass of water, okay, and you have to copy it, what you do? In the school, what they did to you, they give you a paper like this, right? It is right or not? They give you a paper, and what they give you for the first time? A pencil like this, okay? And the teacher tell you to you, okay, let's start copying. No matter if you are good or not, you will start to copy it, okay? Believe me, I did two things. I give you one paper, and second things, I give you a pencil. I did two things, and I did two mistakes. People does not know this, but Leonardo knows this. And the lesson of Leonardo are very important to also to teach in university. You must have a course of Leonardo da Vinci here in the university. I can be a teacher if you want. Listen to me. Leonardo knows this and wrote this, but nobody ever teach this to the students because it looks like stupid, but it's not. First error. Imagine if you have to do a picture and copy a piece of glass. A glass with a water. What you draw? You start drawing what? The shape, right? The shadows. But you are going to start it wrong. Because what is a piece of glass? What color? Imagine to have, I don't have it because there is a full of color here, but imagine this piece of glass here. You have to copy it. I put it here. Imagine this without graphics, okay? I put it here and I ask you, copy it. What color you use? What colors are there? There are no colors because glass is transparent, right? The only way to see a picture, a glass, is why you see a glass? There is no color. Why you see the water? There is no color in the water, right? Why you can see the water? Because you cannot see the water or the glass. You see just the reflections. Okay? So you have to paint the reflections of the glass on the water. And what color are reflections? First, the first rule is that the reflection is white. So the first error is that I started wrong. I cannot start with a paper completely white because this is a full light. How can I draw lights in a paper of light? You understand this. That's why Leonardo knows these tricks, and I have only 10 minutes, but the story can go for hours. That's why Leonardo used the colored paper, because he knows that for become an artist, you have to put two things in a paper. First, shadows. Second, reflections. Reflection must be brighter than the paper. That's why he colored the paper. So with a black paper, with a black pencil, you trace the shadows. When you finish to do the shadows, you must do, to complete the work, add the reflections. Everything has reflection. And if you imagine pictures, you do pictures on your phone, you just get the lights, not the shadows. This is a very big lesson for Leonardo, okay? That's why picture of Leonardo looks real, and maybe your drawings are very bad, because you don't know how to start, and you start wrong. And this is bad. You cannot start with a black one. You have to start with different colors. So my job is to understand. So Leonardo he stole one of the many pages he used for drawings, pictures of ladies and that. And he used this technique just to draw this kind of things. Can you see there is a little boat here? My work is this. I get this, I will show you my work with the reconstruction software. So my work was to try to understand what the devil is inside, because there is something, okay? So I did this dividing work. I divided all the paper in different parts, and all these parts are be put in the right order, in time and space. So for the first time you can see all the sketches of Leonardo correctly put. And the very incredible things that every single sketches of Leonardo is linked to this project. There is not something strange. When you phone, you do something stupid and strange on the paper. No, Leonardo never did this. Leonardo, everything he put in his paper was related to the project. So step by step, I will go very fast because we don't have hours to explain. But the best part is this. For the first time in history, Leonardo invented, I'm sure about this because I never find it in any documents before Leonardo. He invented the drawing of a section of a machine before and after. So he put the animation of before and after of a section. It's something very high to understand. So what is this machine? Can you see the animation there? What the devil is it? It's very strange, right? But if we mix all the clues we have on the paper, the solution is this. Leonardo invented, because he studied a lot, he invented this new kind of device with a man that is moving like in a bike, but underwater. Okay, moving his legs, he can move in front, but also with the hand he can move up or down. And this little submarine is connected with a little ship. Why a little ship? Leonardo is not stupid. He knows everything. So the idea of Leonardo is that if I have this ship, we know I don't have any bombs or big weapons there, right? It is a stupid boat. So the aim of this boat is that to go closer to the enemy with the giant ships. The enemy will laugh at you. Oh, who are you? You have nothing. So they will not fire at you. What happens? During the night, the pilot will go down, will move the submarine like James Bond, exactly like did James Bond. So with the submarine, he moves on the water, under the water, to go during the night under the boat of the enemy and making holes. So only a single man with this incredible invention can destroy an entire ships of the enemy. I show you something very, very nice. Now that you understand, if I go back to the picture here, I show you, for example, you remember there are a lot of stuff here. Look at this. This is one of the many devices Leonardo wants to put in his submarine to make holes. I don't know the name of the things that you have to open the wine. That's it. So imagine that one. How you call it? Okay, that one. Bigger, 10 times bigger, like this. So you can suck the enemy boats. One by one. In one night, you can destroy 10 boats. And remember that I did the project with the man inside, right? But where are the measurements? Where Leonardo put measurements? How many meters? Leonardo never put measurements here because he was intelligent. He knows that you don't need to understand the measurements. I show you the picture. If you look here, I'll make it a zoom in the software. Okay. Can you see here? This is the section of the submarine. Can you see it? Can you recognize what it is? This SS. What is this? Is a leg. So, without any giving you measurements, you just put a leg of a man, and you know how big is a man. So I know how big I can build the machine. So in my workshop, when I do the studies, I know exactly how big are the machine because I always find some little tiny human parts. So I can regulate it. Okay. Let's do a game. You know that Leonardo did a lot of codex. They are most famous codex. Bill Gates has a codex of Leonardo da Vinci. It's only 36 pages, but we have 6,000 pages. In Milan, there are different books of Leonardo. There is the Codex Atlanticus, then other codex, blah, blah, blah. I show you one particular codex because I like it very much. So you are in front for the first time on the reconstruction of the codex that Leonardo did when he was in Milan. This is very important because before this book, Leonardo was just a scholar, a student, an art student. After this book, Leonardo became a scientist. And there is a very important stuff, but we don't have time here to explain. So look at there are 200 pages in this book. Where is the first page? Can you sign it? The first page of this book. Can you show it to me with your hand? The first page. The first page of the book. Where is the first page of the book? Everybody look at here in the top. But remember that Leonardo wrote right to left. So the first page of every book of Leonardo is the last one, like the Arabic do. Now, because someone of you is sleeping, you have to do this wonderful experiment. I usually do with children, but it's very nice also for adults. Someone says that, maybe you don't know, Leonardo wrote backwards, from right to left, but also backwards. You have to put a mirror to try to read in Italian, ancient Italian. So it's very hard to understand Leonardo da Vinci. It takes me more than 20 years to understand how to read it. But now I can read it. And at the end, I understand it is not so hard to read it. There is another problem. People think and wrote on books that Leonardo did it on purpose to keep secrets of his machine. But this is very stupid. You are able to write and read in backwards? Yes or no? Yes or no? The problem is that you are, but you don't believe in yourself. I'll demonstrate it to you. The main problem of this is that Leonardo, one of the many secrets of Leonardo, is that was left free to think with his own mind without cultural constraint. So if you say a child, you get a child with his left-handed or right-handed and make it free to do whatever you want, the people that wrote from right to left will start writing in this way without any constraint. Your brain is ready to read and operate in a symmetrical way, but you don't know that because you think that you can write just your name on the right side. If you get your other hands and I tell you, write on backwards, you are not able to do. But not because you are not, because people will teach you not to do that. To understand this, you have to do this little experiment. Put your finger like this in front of you, okay? Do it, okay. And then start to do some doodles like me in the air in a symmetrical way, okay? Not look at your hand. Is that true or not that you are able to do exactly in perfectly symmetrical way? You are ready. Your brain is ready. You are not looking at that, but you are ready to do that. So the experiment is this. Try it at your home. Use your 2 pencils. Do the same stuff on the paper. Do doodles. And you are able to do that, right? Then when you did it, start to write your name, but with your brain and your eyes, just look on the right sides. Because if you don't do that, your brain will tell you, no, you are not able to do that. Believe me, you will be able to write backwards. The problem is that a cultural constraint. Leonardo was free, so he started to think free. That's one another secrets of Leonardo. So let's open this page on the first page. Look at here. On the paper, there are things like a dragonfly, a flying fish. Help me to recognize them. What you see? Can you see here? What is this? Butterfly, and then? Okay, Leonardo here is not doing some artistic drawings. He's doing something that changed the life of Leonardo. He's studying these 4 animals, not for the purpose to make it beautiful a picture. No, because they are able to fly. And they are completely different way also to fly. Leonardo understood that if you want to build the flying machine, you have to study all the flying animals of the nature, and you are able to do what? Not to build one flying machine, but as many flying machines are animals that are able to fly, because all these animals are different technique. Remember what I told you about the secret of Leonardo? So now we are in the second part of Leonardo. This is the true Leonardo. That Leonardo that stole and copied all the invention of the people before him. That's why it is important to study and to have schools like Leonardo teach us. So when you are ready and you have studied everything, you are ready to invent new things. I show you one of the technique of Leonardo he used. So the idea of Leonardo is this. You have to build, for example, let's say you have to build a new weapon, because Leonardo was in Milan, and the Duke of Milan asked him not paintings, but war machine. The truth that you will never find in books is that Leonardo went in Milan to earn money for the Duke of Milan studying war machine, not paintings. That's the truth. It's sad, but it's true, because there was a war in Milan, okay? So, if you have to invent a new machine, what you do? The secret of Leonardo is this. Study all the ancients. Get one of the many boats. Then study and observe nature, no matter, whatever. Mix the 2 things together, and you have a new items. I show you. These boats that came from the ancients, has a weapons in the middle, a giant, how you say sky, okay. What is the animal that looks like this? The scorpion, right? Look at here, a scorpio. Leonardo get a scorpion, get a boat, and mix the two things together. So Leonardo understands that with this combination, you can invent hundreds of thousands of different weapons. Not only weapons, also machines. So believe me, this book is full of hundreds and thousands of studies of Leonardo, of the past, and invention of new things. So let's play this game. Give me one number, each one of you, one number from 1 to 10, 100. 5. Okay, let's look at this paper of Leonardo. Here, Leonardo is building a castle for Sforza in Milan. So Leonardo is also an architect, but in the same way, he's studying also the mouth and other tricks. Look at this page here. This is a technique how to bring a big piece of wood in the top of the castle to build it. But you are lucky, because this is something I usually don't show because people get mad of this. I will demonstrate that Leonardo is a magician too. Nobody knows about this. But I found hundreds of these things in the Codex of Leonardo. You will never find in books. What is a magician? A magician is not Leonardo was not a real magician, not like boom, like Shazam, okay? It is a real one. So we call it, in Italy we call it prestidigiatore, someone that uses tricks to make you fool, okay? This is a magician. So it was very easy in the medieval empire, if you know tricks, to make people fool. So Leonardo, look at here. Can you see this picture here? Okay, for the first time in our museums, my work was to wrote all the things of Leonardo. So when I wrote it, when I understand, I also find all these instructions. So can you see there is a bow, arco, bow, okay? And there is a castle here. This invention of a magician trick came from the idea that Leonardo is studying the castle sforzesco, and he imagined, okay, what I have to do to surprise and to make fool of my duke. So he invented this trick. He said to you, you want to be a magician, invite your girlfriend, your duke, whatever you want, and you do this. You look at the castle, there is a giant wall, you put your bow, you fire your, in English is the arrow, okay? And the magician is that the people will go down, and your arrow will go exactly in a little boat. How can you do that? Because Leonardo was not able to see on the other side, but he said, I am a magician, I can do that. Plum, the other side, blap in the box. No, it's much more simple. Leonardo here tell you the tricks, and the trick is this. If you want to do these tricks, the day before, go to the castle, look at your wall. Think about one point, exactly point in the roof, okay? Remember that point. Aim your arrow at that point and fire. You must be also a good fire, okay? Then go to the other side of the castle, look at where is your arrow, and there you'll put the box, okay? You understand? It's very easy. So the day after, you know exactly how to do that. And there are hundreds of these tricks of Leonardo, because in that time Leonardo was also in the Duke of Milan. He's asking to make a festival, dresses for the lady of the Duke, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, another page, please. 26. Leonardo here, there is these beautiful drawings of a mountain. Understand that the powerful of the water, you can use this technique that is a pump, a tube, connecting this part of the river with this pump, automatic pump, with this other tube. So without using too much energy, Leonardo proposed the technique to use just a simple mill to move water from a part to other part of a giant mountain. If you do this in this way, like Leonardo instructed, you will use only 1% of energy. If you do, like Leonardo does not row here, it's very hard. So Leonardo understands also the technique of water and mix it between pumps and other stuff like this. Another page, please. 42. We have time to do one for each or not? Or you have question? 42. Look at this beautiful page. This is like, can you see how many weapons are there? Bigger, shorter, longer. Leonardo here, in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a lot of pages, is studying all the weapons like blades of all ancient Greeks, Roman Empire, everyone. So he understands that if he wants to build the beautiful weapon, he had to study all the weapons of history. So he started in his books to make a tractatus, in English, in your language, a trattato of weapons, one by one, every one. Because Leonardo knows that if you want to invent a new weapon, you have to study all the weapons before you. And this is the example. So these are not inventions by Leonardo, but it's Leonardo that is studying all the weapons before him to find a way to do something new. And he did it because after this, he invented new weapons and stuff, like this, for example. These are very strange, something like you find in cartoons or movies like the Lord of the Rings. There are much more secrets here than in the movie Lord of the Rings with these incredible weapons, because Leonardo mixed architectural engineering all together with the knowledge of the past. So he was able to invent these new inventions. But we don't know if these are efficient or not. But Leonardo, the idea of Leonardo is that the more I study, the more I know how to build it. Another one, or maybe just give me a number of one machine you like, or what you want to see. Please, you? 56. 56. Okay. Okay, this is Leonardo that is studying not only weapons like this of mass destructions, because you can fire to the enemy in these weapons, but Leonardo in the same page with the same technology, can you see here, the same structure of idea of the drawings inspired Leonardo on the study on geometrics and light moving. So for Leonardo da Vinci, when he studied weapons, he's not studying only weapons, but he's studying also geometrics, architecture, because everything is mixed. I show you another very nice example of something very boring. When I found this, when I found ladies, I show you always this because it looks boring. Let's go to page number. Let's go. Let me see where it is. Okay, here. Can you see this drawing here? This is a geometrical tool. This is the way that you can shape an hexagono. How you call it in your language? Okay. You put your compass in the middle. You trace exactly the same instruction we find in books today. It is very boring, right? Because for someone, geometrics is very boring. But Leonardo, if you understand how the mind of Leonardo works, start from simple geometrics, but here says, okay, what I can do with this 6 or 8 figure? I'll put 8 mirrors. Okay, I throw these mirrors up, and I build this strange stuff made of 8 mirrors. This is a chamber to look at your new dress 300 degrees. Also today we don't have it, but it's wonderful for ladies, because if you put your new dress, you enter this room, you can see yourself on the back. It is wonderful, and today we don't have it, but Leonardo thought about this. And this idea came from the study of geometrics, simple geometrics. Believe me, all the weapons, machines, incredible machines, starts also from nature, from geometrics, and mixing things together. Give me another number, if you want, or what you like. Give me a number. 50. 55. This one? Okay, so we are in front of this very beautiful page, because it mixes, here you see, geometrics with the plans of a castle, with a real castle, we are with a system of defense of the castle, and look at these wonderful drawings here. This is something very important, because Leonardo, as an architect, is the first one in history that invented the sections, transparent section. So this is a project for a water, how you call it? I show you. A water pump, like this, that the aim of this water pump is collect water from down to the top. You will use a human being or an animal that is running inside of that wheels, like animals. I call in Italy il criceto nella ruota. You have this little animal that goes on the circle. What do you call it? Okay. So, like with a man or a horse, you can move all the structure. This is a paternoster pump, and this system will collect water from bottom to the top. But one of the most important part of this is that Leonardo invented the drawing, so you can see the section of the underground to see how does it pump work on the underground. And here, all the technique that you can use to build this machine that is made with the big rounded objects. Give me another number. Yes.
Bom, good morning. I'm Ibirajara Pereira Rodrigues Filho from the Chemistry Institute of São Carlos. And I have just a very simple question about the drawing that you have just shown us. Is that the same drawing, is the same idea that the Roman used in the Roman Empire for mining?
Absolutely, yes. Half of these drawings, remember what I told you, half of these are Leonardo that is studying ancient Roman Empire, Greeks, and everything. And here in these documents, Leonardo starts from all the Roman Empire objects to build the cities. He copied the drawings, and while he's copying, he tried to make it better, like he did with the Vitruvian Man. So the more you study, the more you copy, the more you can understand the machine. And this is another secret of Leonardo. To really understand a machine, today, all the people, also you, if you go outside in a museums and you find something very nice, so a machine you want to study, what you do? You take your, what do? You take your phone? You do the most stupid things. You do a picture or a video. And you say, okay, you put your phone in your head, in your pocket, and you say, okay, I have that. But the truth is that you forget it. You have lost the possibility to understand the machine, because all your pictures in your phone are lost forever. I'm sorry for that, but this is the truth. Where are the pictures of 2 years ago? Where are your pictures of 3 years ago? Where? The cloud somewhere in our disk, I don't know, I don't remember. The old computer I have left at home to forget. Every time you make a photos, you believe that you have something there, but you forget it. The truth is this: we have to understand the lesson of Leonardo. To really understand a machine, you don't have to do like this one. You can do that, of course. You have to stay there for 1 hour, try to copy the machine with your hand, because while you are copying and understanding the machine, you are understanding the machine. Because there is no possibility to copy or to draw a machine without understand how this machine works. You understand me? So if you have a complex clocks, the only way to draw it is to understand it. That's the trick of Leonardo. That's why he was so able to draw everything he looked around it, because he understands that the more time you pass. Remember the dragonfly I show you? Today what we do, our children. Okay, what a beautiful dragonfly. Click, 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 click. WhatsApp, Facebook, like, and you don't understand how a dragonfly works. You know that it's complex movement of the 4 wings. Why 4 wings? And the wings are moving like a bird, are flexing, are strong. People forget it because they think they understand, but they don't understand. Leonardo passed, let's say, about 3-4 hours observing the nature, and then he drew it. So in this time-consuming process, he understands the things. This process of knowing, we today have completely forgot. Because we know that if we have something to remember, we have Wikipedia. If we have something to find, we have Google Images. So we have all there, but we don't know nothing today. That is very sad. That's why what I am looking at the young people of today. They have all the instruments possibility, but they don't put one single minute to understand things, because they know that if they have to do research, just Google that, images, blah, blah, print the image, and they think they understand the things, but they don't understand nothing. They are just computers copying and moving things. Leonardo teaches this very important lesson. You have to pass time to understand the nature. The more you understand the nature, and the more you have passed time understanding your ancient technology, the more you can know how to mix things together and have new things. I show you, for example, one of the most powerful weapons in history. You want to know? What is the most powerful weapons of today? Right. And why nobody want to attack North Korea? No, because they say they have the bomb. This is very important. Today, nobody will attack the USA because we know they have the atomic bomb. Today, nobody attacks North Korea because they might have the atomic bomb, right? These modern things. This is exactly what happened at the time. Remember what I told you. Leonardo went to Milan, to the Duke of Milan, to be paid for the Duke, not to be painted, but to become the master engineering of secret weapons of the Duke of Milan. Because in this way, the Duke of Milan can say to the French people, don't attack me, because I have Leonardo da Vinci with a secret invention. Don't try to do that, because I will kill you. So Leonardo was the engineering paid by the Duke to have this incredible idea, but not to become true. Just the idea that there was an incredible genius able to do this kind of thing was just enough to make people not doing war. Exactly why today. So I show you the atomic bomb of Leonardo. You want to see it? If you go to page 3 of this, no, 3, 4, okay, here. In this page of this manuscript, I did the work to rebuild the book. This is the book as it is today. And it's divided in different books because they stole the books, and I collect all the paper of Leonardo, and I digitally restored them, and I rebuilt the three-dimensional model of the book. So for the first time, you can see the book itself with the other pages because it was stolen. So here we have Leonardo da Vinci that is drawing something for a picture. Of course, Leonardo was a painter, so sometimes he had to do some paintings. Then here, what do we have here? Another paintings, another ladies. This is something very shocking, maybe for you. Leonardo was the first designer of history, the fashion designer, because here he wrote not just the picture, he wrote how to do the surface of the how to say the vestito della signora. So he said here gold, here red. So he was the first designer, and this document show you. But in the same time, so we have first as designer of history. We have a very good man that is able to paint, but we have also a warmonger. Here it is the secret weapons of Leonardo. So Leonardo, first I show you here what he wrote. He wrote that you have to study ancient Greeks. If you study ancient Greeks, you find that there is the Greek fire. The Greek fire was the most, is like napalm. You put napalm on the enemy will put water, the fire will not stop. So like this is just one of the most incredible, powerful machines. But Leonardo say, how can improve these incredible weapons? So Leonardo observed the nature. How do you name Gherigli delle noci? That came down from the plant as sparkles around. That the fruits that sweet sparkles. Okay. Yes, okay. So imagine to mix these natural things together So you have this giant bomb with cans around. You have Greek fire around. You put fire. You have this giant ball. You fire the ball on your enemy. Imagine to put this on the castle of the enemy inside. Okay, what happens? When these balls will go down, one of the cans will touch like a mine in the sea. Okay, so look at here in the picture. It's very nice. If you look at the picture, you can see that there is a ball inside the ball. The second ball has black powder, so it will explode. So the idea of Leonardo is that, okay, with all these things, I will throw this ball. It will destroy itself like a fire, and it will produce all the people around, spread Greek fire around. So, and all the people will die, because this is one of, can you imagine? It's impossible to stop this machine. And this is one of the most incredible and powerful weapons on that time. We don't know if Leonardo built it or not. We don't know. The most important things that we can understand now, the technique of Leonardo, of invention of Leonardo. No matter if at the end he did it or not. Because you remember that the idea is that of the Duke, okay, I have these incredible war machines, don't fight at me. Because war at the time of Leonardo is not something that they do every day. They get scared about the war because they know that if they fight, a lot of people will die. So the real fight is something is very rare. Okay, one of the most important things is that to avoid the war and to say I am more powerful than you, so don't come. That's the idea of the war at the time of Leonardo. Okay. Okay, a question, you want to see a new studies, Last Supper, whatever, you have time, you have numbers. Last number or last machine, what do you like? Look at the machines. Something strange. 78. 78? Where is? This one? Right. This one? Yes. Okay. This is one of the many flying machine of Leonardo. Leonardo never invented one flying machine. He was not able also to fly with that machine, because otherwise we know that. But he invented a lot of sketches to copy the nature. So this kind of strange flying machine, my question to you, is not a simple flying machine. What kind of machine is this? This is the mechanical dragonfly, because it has 4 wings. Remember that. But I want to show this. This is incredible. I'm sure that you have, for sure, you have seen this in museums or some picture. You have seen this picture before? This one. This is what is this? This is the famous helicopter of Leonardo da Vinci, right? Right. I show you the truth. And the truth is not that this is not a helicopter. It's something much more better than a helicopter. I'll show you. So Leonardo, the thing that very beautiful of my work is that at the beginning of my career, I studied other scientists before me. And I copied a lot. Then I started to read directly Leonardo. And Leonardo here wrote exactly what to do. And Leonardo wrote to make a toy. The purpose of this toy is a scientific experiment, not a flying machine. And Leonardo here wrote the engine of this flying object is a bended iron. What is a bended iron? Help me. A strong bended iron is a spring engine, like we have in the clocks. Remember clocks of your uncle or whatever. The spring engine is the only machine in all the medieval time and before Leonardo and for hundreds and thousands of times is the only object that can keep energy itself. And you can use this energy when you want. It's the only items. Today we have energy, whatever, but at the time of Leonardo, there was only the spring engine. So Leonardo say, okay, let's put as big a spring engine in this machine. 4 men are there to charge the spring in this way. So I charge the spring. Can you see here, this is a very giant spring. Remember that you don't have the toy that children that do like this and the thing. This toy was there at the time of Leonardo. And Leonardo would get inspired also by the nature, by the seeds that came down, falling down from the trees, right? Okay. So Leonardo put all together the things and build this idea, not a real machine. My question to you, I always say, saw this object in all the museums in the world, and they say this is an helicopter with 4 men that is like me, doing this, like this. But if I jump in the air, look at me, okay, I'm inside the helicopter, like the picture, and can you see my legs there? Okay, I can go faster and faster, but when I am upside up, where I cannot press anything because there is no ground, right? So this machine is a stupid machine, does not work like they did it. My question to you, imagine to have this spring engine ready. So Leonardo started this machine. That machine divided in 2 pieces. The first one will go up, and the machine itself stayed down. So it's not a flying machine. Believe me, last question for you. There is no mechanical tools that push the object in the top. Only a spring engine makes it very fast. Why this machine goes up and not down? When I do this question in my museums, in a lot of people, the children will answer. The record is 3 seconds by a children of 6 years old that answered me. The more you get older, then the more you cannot answer or you want not answer because you are afraid of your answer. Why this machine goes up and not down? Believe me that you have all the tools to understand it. I don't have to tell you anymore. So we have spring engine, strong, this screw, and the machine will go up. Why? That's why it is important, this experiment in these documents, not because of the machine, but because of the experiment and the answer of the question. Why this machine goes up and not down? You don't know? Because it is a screw. If you have a screw, how you call it screw in your language? Okay. When you do this on the wall, I use a tool, and you do like this. Why the screw enter the wood or the wall? Because the wall is grabbing it, right? Because of the shape of the screw. So this screw is made to grab what? Air. This is the simple and stupid answer, but this is can you imagine how important this answer is? The screw goes up because there is air, and the screw will grab the air. So Leonardo understood that air here exists. We are 500 years ago. People does not understand that it is air or space. Now today we know that here we have air. But in the time of Leonardo, nobody knows about that. Nobody knows that in the space there is no air. So with this experiment, Leonardo demonstrate that if you go faster with your screw or your wings, you can grab the air and use it to be pressed and to be charged outside. That's why is the basis of this machine. This experiment is the basics of his flying machine. It's not a flying machine, not a helicopter. For the first time, if I go through the pages after that 1, 2, 3, and 4, you will see for the first time the real helicopter of that. So after four pages, you can find here, can you see the cockpit? There is the man inside. Also, there is also the ladder to jump on the machines. And look at here, 1, 2, 3, 4 wings. But only the children can understand the helicopter move because it's not just a movement. But this is, again, is not a helicopter. Can you recognize it? It's again the dragonfly. It's the animal mixed with all the instruments Leonardo understands. So I stop with this and I say to you that in this document there are 200 pages. My work is to study also the 6,000 pages. I found hundreds of machines, so we don't have time here to study. But the secrets of Leonardo is that he studied and copied a lot. Second, the more you study, the more you know about the ancients. That's why it's important school. The more you can mix together with the nature. If you mix nature with your knowledge, you can do whatever you want. Weapons, architectural stuff, whatever. And this is the lesson of Leonardo. Here, all is mixed. There is no difference between weapons. Only today we do difference. Okay, that man is building weapons. That man is an architect. That man is engineering or a chemist. Leonardo was all together. For the first time and the last time in history of science, all the knowledge was together in one single man. Because before Leonardo, it was too hard for the people to understand this. After Leonardo, the science became too structured, too deep, that every man has focused on a single stuff. Leonardo was the last man to focus and to have in his brain everything together. Thank you. Okay? You have questions or things? Yes.
If I remember properly, first of all, I would like to thank you for your beautiful presentation. Grazie mille.
Prego.
If I remember properly, Leonardo was working for the Duke of Milan during the war against Francis I. And the war was won because Francis I came through the Alps with the largest artillery ever seen. And after the war, Francis I took Leonardo to France to work as a painting.
Yes.
And knowing, as we could imagine, he knew about the geniality of Leonardo, how did he not take advantage of this beautiful engineering and did wonderful things?
Good, very good question. The answer is that these books, I show you, for example, this one. Remember the tank I show you, the tank of Leonardo that he copied? When he copied the tank, Leonardo was studying the ancient weapons, like, for example, Valturio and the Re Militari. While he was copying these weapons, he understood that more than half of these weapons are stupid, are not efficient, are just medieval beautiful images, but are not very useful. So Leonardo understood this. For example, the tank. He wrote, he did this beautiful paper for the Duke, but he knows that that project was stupid. It will not work for sure. I don't know if they ever built the tank or not, but if you build the tank like Leonardo drawings, you get a stupid machine not working, not functioning, and the enemy will laugh at you. But in these books, Leonardo, for example, I show you one of the second, then there is a third, fourth, different weapons like the tank. Leonardo say, okay, if I have to build a tank, I will put 2 horses inside, not men, because in this way this machine is much more efficient and you can throw this in front of the enemy. But the best one is in another manuscript, maybe I'll show you tomorrow, and there are many more. The problem is that these documents of Leonardo, all these beautiful documents, all this beautiful paper, all the people in the world believe that Leonardo invented the helicopter, the airplane. But the problem and the truth is that Leonardo did not publish his works. All these beautiful inventions were left in these books, were not published, so nobody understands this machine. For 100 and more than 200 years, Leonardo was unknown. This is very sad, because I'm convinced that if all these documents were published at the time of Leonardo, maybe today we are already on Mars. But all these documents were left abandoned by Leonardo. Because Leonardo, can you understand that these kind of drawings were impossible to be printed in medieval machine? Because at the time, the books are just written. So Leonardo, the power for Leonardo is much more than in the design in the drawings than in the things that he wrote. The answer is that Leonardo never published his books. And maybe all these machines are not very efficient. No one of the flying machine is able to fly. And believe me, maybe just a few war machines are able to be built. But Leonardo was 100% of the time occupied by painting for the Duke of Milan. He was able to sing some musical instruments, and has so many things to do that he never published these books and never built these machines. The answer for your question is that Leonardo went to the Duke of France because he paid him and to stay with him. He was the best artist and best engineering of the time. Only two machines of Leonardo were built. Is the mechanical lion and the lira, the violin of the school. All the other stuff were lost forever. And it is very a pity, because imagine what we can do, what we have done with all these published books. But Leonardo never published it because he does not have time to order all his documents. When he died, he left, I want to do the books on geometrics, I want to do the books on architecture, I want to do the books on flying machine, the books on human body, the books on hundreds of books Leonardo wanted to paint, but he didn't know one single book. Francesco Melzi, he was one of his pupils, after Leonardo died, collected only the little part of the paintings instruction of Leonardo and published the Tractatus of the paintings of Leonardo. That book is the only book made after Leonardo. It was a Stonehenge, a masterpiece for all the paintings after Leonardo that studied on the books of Leonardo paintings. Imagine how can we be today if we did publish the books on human body or whatever. Okay, thank you. Okay?
Sim, sim. Obrigado pela presença. Amanhã tem mais.